McDonald's serves billions of customers yearly, but the employees working behind those counters have a secret menu of their own. Items they absolutely refuse to eat. What exactly do these fast food insiders know that we don't? The shocking truth about your favorite McDonald's meals begins with the filet-o-fish sandwich. It is perhaps the most avoided item by employees who know what goes on behind the counter. Ask any worker about this lonely menu item, and they'll point to that square fish patty hiding in the corner of the warming tray. It's basically the background character in a fast food soap opera that nobody notices until it goes missing. During a typical shift, workers might prepare dozens of Big Macs, but only 1 or 2 fish sandwiches, if any at all. The issue with the filet-o-fish isn't necessarily the taste. When freshly made, it's not half bad. The problem is how long these forgotten sandwiches sit waiting for a customer. It's like that friend who shows up to the party way too early and is still awkwardly hanging around when everyone else has gone home. During busy rushes, that fish patty might be swimming in the warming drawer far longer than intended. Former employees confess that on slow days, the same filet-o-fish might sit for hours, with the bun transforming into a rubbery disc and the tartar sauce separating into an oil slick. By closing time, what started as a sandwich has evolved into a science experiment that would make marine biologists question their career choices. The filet-o-fish accounts for less than 5% of McDonald's sandwich sales outside of Lent, making it truly the forgotten cousin of the menu. When employees get their free meal during shifts, this fishy option is typically the last one chosen. And it's not the only menu item with a questionable reputation among those who work behind the counter. The McRib sandwich has earned a special place in fast food history, not for its quality, but for its bizarre marketing strategy. This pressed pork patty shaped to resemble ribs, despite containing no actual rib meat, has become famous for repeatedly disappearing and reappearing on McDonald's menus since 1981. It's like that dramatic friend who keeps announcing they're leaving the party only to show up again 20 minutes later with a fresh drink. Behind the counter, employees view the McRib with suspicion. The sandwich starts as a frozen brick of mystery meat that gets heated and soaked in barbecue sauce to disguise its true identity. The McRib is essentially playing meat cosplay, pretending to be something it's clearly not. The ingredients list doesn't help its case. The McRib contains over 70 ingredients, including azotocarbonamide, a flour bleaching agent that's also used in the production of yoga mats and shoe soles. McDonald's has sold over 100 million McRib sandwiches throughout its on-again, off-again relationship with consumers. Yet surveys show that most people only try it out of curiosity rather than genuine enjoyment. The truth about the McRib's disappearing act has nothing to do with demand and everything to do with economics. McDonald's typically brings it back when pork prices drop low enough to make it profitable. The strange texture, combined with its mysterious origins, makes it a menu item that employees typically avoid. While the McRib might confuse your taste buds with its strange texture, it's not the only McDonald's offering with a dangerous side. Some menu items are risky in entirely different ways. McDonald's apple pie looks innocent enough sitting in its cardboard sleeve, but employees know better than to bite into this dessert right away. The crispy, rectangular pastry has earned a reputation among staff as one of the most dangerous items on the menu. A few months ago, I had no idea what a health ring even was until my fiancé got me one, and I have to say, I am shocked this isn't a widely known and used product. It tracks my stress levels, and what I found out is that each time I took certain medication, my body's stress levels went up 2 to 3 times my usual levels. So I immediately stopped taking that medication, and I can honestly say This made me feel 10 years younger. My wife mainly uses it to track her menstrual cycles, and she is obsessed with her sleep quality score. I noticed they were running a limited 69% discount, but the offer is expiring soon. It's currently only $60, and it's clear this one is the best bang for your buck, with other health rings priced around $350 with less functions. They managed to price it this low because they cut out the middleman like Amazon, Walmart, etc., who drive up the price and take a big margin, ending up with the customer paying 3 to 5 times more. If you are on TV, you can check it out yourself by pausing the video and scanning the QR code with your phone camera or clicking the first link in the description of this video. Not because of questionable ingredients, but because of its ability to store heat at tongue-melting temperatures for surprisingly long periods. When fresh from the fryer or oven, since McDonald's switched to baked pies in most locations, the apple filling transforms into a molten core of cinnamon-flavored lava. Emergency rooms across America have treated countless cases of apple pie palate, the unofficial term for the painful roof-of-mouth burns these seemingly harmless desserts cause. The apple pie filling maintains its nuclear reactor-level heat long enough that by the time the outer crust feels safe to touch, the inside is still planning its attack on your taste buds. Temperature readings have shown that the filling can reach upwards of 160 degrees Fahrenheit when first served, hot enough to cause immediate burns. A 2019 survey of fast food injuries ranked McDonald's pies as the third most common cause of self-inflicted food burns, right behind coffee and soup. What makes these pies particularly treacherous is their inconsistent cooling pattern. The outer pastry shell cools quickly, giving a false sense of security, while the gooey apple center remains dangerously hot. It's like nature's cruelest practical joke, presenting you with a delicious-looking snack that's actually a dessert-disguised weapon. While the pie's temperature may be a hazard to your mouth's well-being, at least you can see what you're getting into. The same can't be said for our next treat, which hides their problems behind closed doors. The soft-serve ice cream at McDonald's has become legendary, not for its taste, but for its unavailability. Sorry, the ice cream machine is broken isn't just a phrase. It's practically McDonald's unofficial slogan. Finding a working McDonald's ice cream machine feels like spotting Bigfoot. People claim it happens, but the evidence is suspiciously blurry. While your mouth might still be recovering from an apple pie burn, don't count on soothing it with a cold McFlurry. Behind the counter, employees know the real scoop. These machines aren't actually broken. They're just high-maintenance divas requiring 4-hour cleaning cycles. They're the pop stars of fast food equipment, temperamental, expensive, and refusing to perform without perfect conditions. A 2021 report found McDonald's ice cream machines were out of service nearly 20% of the time nationwide. The situation got so bad that the Federal Trade Commission actually launched an investigation into the problem. The cleaning process is what employees dread most. The machines must be disassembled, scrubbed, and reassembled, a task like solving a milkshake-covered Rubik's Cube, while customers form a line of ice cream disappointment to the parking lot. Even when working, many employees avoid the products. One former worker confessed, "After seeing what builds up inside those machines between cleanings, I couldn't stomach another McFlurry." The inside of those machines has seen things that would make dairy cows file for emotional distress. While ice cream might disappoint because it's often unavailable, at least it's honest about its absence. The breakfast burrito at McDonald's promises a handheld morning meal, combining eggs, meat, and cheese in a convenient tortilla. Unlike the ice cream machine that's honest about its unavailability, breakfast burritos show up every morning, but that might be their only virtue. These items are pre-made, frozen, and simply microwave to order when you visit. The reality behind these breakfast tubes is particularly disappointing for customers seeking fresh morning food. Studies show that over 60% of McDonald's breakfast customers believe the items are prepared fresh that morning, when in fact most breakfast items arrive frozen and are simply reheated. The breakfast burrito ranks among the most processed items on the morning menu, containing over 40 ingredients between the tortilla, egg mixture, and meat filling. These burritos never feel the sizzle of a grill. They arrive at the restaurant in boxes, waiting to be zapped back to life. The microwave does more work on these burritos than most people do on Monday mornings. McDonald's sells roughly 20 million breakfast burritos annually, yet most customers have no idea they're eating glorified freezer food. The eggs inside aren't cracked fresh. They come from a liquid mix containing various chemical additives. Temperature is another issue. Due to their frozen solid starting point, many burritos emerge with cold spots in the middle and scalding hot edges. It's like a temperature obstacle course for your mouth. Freezing tundra one bite, volcanic wasteland the next. The tortilla starts chewy, but left too long becomes something like wet cardboard. If breakfast is truly the most important meal of the day, maybe it shouldn't come from a box that's been sitting in a freezer since last Tuesday. This disappointing breakfast item leads us to another morning favorite with similar issues. Scrambled eggs at McDonald's might seem like a straightforward breakfast option, but most customers would drop their forks if they knew the truth. What looks like eggs on your breakfast platter is actually the result of a science experiment that would make high school chemistry teachers proud. The yellow substance arrives at restaurants in cartons labeled liquid eggs, not exactly farm fresh. This egg mixture contains more than just eggs. It's loaded with citric acid, sodium phosphate, and modified food starch. These additives ensure the eggs maintain their unnatural yellow glow and don't turn an apocalyptic shade of green when sitting in warming trays. A 2019 study found only 28% of customers knew they weren't getting fresh cracked eggs. The other 72% probably think chocolate milk comes from brown cows. The texture of these eggs defies the laws of normal breakfast physics. They somehow manage to be simultaneously rubbery and mushy, maintaining their rectangular shape like yellow memory foam. The mixture gets poured into perfect molds on the grill, creating uniform yellow rectangles that bear only a passing resemblance to something that once lived inside a shell. Here's the real kicker. McDonald's does use actual fresh cracked eggs for Egg McMuffins. A survey found 84% of employees choose McMuffins over anything with the liquid eggs. The scrambled eggs can legally sit in warming trays for up to 30 minutes before being thrown out. During busy breakfast rushes, these eggs move faster than teenagers when someone mentions free food. While these scrambled eggs might make you question your breakfast choices, our next that awaits customers at lunchtime makes these yellow squares look positively gourmet by comparison. The grilled chicken at McDonald's sounds like a better option, but it sits around drying out in warmers. It's like the person who shows up to the gym in perfect workout clothes and never breaks a sweat. All image, no substance. These chicken fillets arrive pre-cooked with painted-on grill marks, then spend their days in warming drawers, transforming into something that could qualify as building material. A food scientist found the chicken loses 32% of its moisture after just 30 minutes. It's the only food that can make you thirstier with each bite you take. The McNugget test reveals the truth. Employees leave both a grilled chicken fillet and a McNugget at room temperature for hours. The processed McNugget shows signs of aging, while the supposedly natural grilled chicken remains eerily unchanged. This raises questions about what's preserving it, though perhaps it's simply too dry for even bacteria to find appealing. Those seeking healthier choices might be surprised that a standard grilled chicken sandwich still contains nearly 40 ingredients. Workers know better than to bite into what one employee described as chicken jerky that never completed its training. While this dry, chewy chicken might disappoint your taste buds, the next McDonald's item hides behind a more innocent disguise. The cheese slices at McDonald's look like they were designed by someone whose only reference for cheese was a cartoon. Looks like cheese, bends like rubber, melts like, well, it doesn't really melt at all. What McDonald's puts on their burgers isn't legally allowed to be called just cheese. It must be labeled processed cheese or cheese product because it doesn't meet the FDA's standards. Real cheese needs to be at least 51% cheese by weight, while McDonald's slices hover just under that threshold. It's like cheese went to a science lab for plastic surgery and forgot to leave. Unlike real cheese, which melts when warmed, McDonald's cheese slices merely soften slightly. They maintain their exact square shape even after several minutes on a hot beef patty. There's something unsettling about cheese that never changes shape. It's like it's in witness protection, desperately maintaining its false identity. Temperature tests have shown that McDonald's cheese slices need to reach over 160 degrees Fahrenheit before they begin to lose their form, a temperature far higher than what they typically experience on a fresh burger. No wonder employees have turned these bizarre dairy squares into impromptu toys during slow periods. While these unmelting cheese squares might raise questions about what exactly you're eating, they at least started as something vaguely dairy-related. The next item on our list began life as something completely unrecognizable. Rehydrated onions are those tiny white pieces scattered across your McDonald's hamburger. Most people think they're fresh. They're not. These onions weren't even onions when they arrived at the restaurant. The journey starts in a factory where whole onions are dehydrated into tiny, hard pellets that resemble fish food. These come dry, then get soaked back to life. The process is simple. Dried onion bits get dumped into a container, water is added, and the mixture sits for about an hour until the onions absorb enough moisture to pass as the real thing. The transformation is like watching those novelty dinosaur sponges that expand in water, except instead of becoming a fun toy, they become a sad approximation of a vegetable. When properly hydrated, the onions expand to roughly 4 times their original size. McDonald's uses approximately 3 million pounds of these dehydrated onions annually across their U.S. restaurants. During busy periods, staff sometimes resort to emergency rehydration with hot water. These rushed onions have all the textural appeal of wet confetti and about half the flavor of the paper it's made from. The result? Something between a sponge and a salad. The smell of these rehydrating onions is another reason employees avoid them. A strange, almost chemical odor that clings to uniforms and hair. While these reconstituted onion pieces might be questionable, they at least stay put. The final item that makes McDonald's employees wary creates even bigger behind-the-scenes issues. McCafe drinks at McDonald's promise premium quality, with fancy names and swirls of whipped cream, but employees have a different perspective on these complicated concoctions. The machines that produce these drinks are notoriously difficult to maintain. They have more parts than a discount furniture assembly kit, and twice the frustration level. The cleaning process is so complicated that many locations struggle to follow the proper procedures. A 2018 health inspection found cleaning compliance issues in over 32% of randomly sampled restaurants. Inside these machines, milk residue can build up in hard-to-reach places, and syrup lines can develop sticky buildup that resembles industrial adhesive. Some staff have seen the insides of these machines and don't trust what's coming out. After witnessing what lurks behind those plastic panels, many employees stick with simple black coffee or bring their drinks from home. So there you have it. Next time you visit, notice what employees choose for their own meals. It might tell you everything you need to know about what's actually worth ordering.